Hey guys, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. This is Andrew Burr from the Andrew Burr Group at the Kai's Company. We can't wait to get started. All right, guys, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. My guest, returning guest, my lovely friend Tiffany. Thank you very much for filling in. We had a cancellation today, which, you know, I don't know. We had two cancellations today. I'm a little bitter. I don't know how you cannot know your schedule that badly, two different people, but it is okay because Tiffany is a great guest, and I want to start right off where we left off. For those of you that do follow the podcast, one of the podcasts is called Tiffany Sleeps in a Tent. What? And actually, Chala, who's our producer, they were having this nice little conversation about, where'd you go camping and all that kind of stuff. And in case you guys haven't figured this out yet, I'm a bit of a bitch, and I am not camping in anything less than a Hilton. So...
Not even a nice RV,
Well, yeah, maybe a nice
shower,
RV, but not.
Toilet,
Yes, but not like a tent. Like I don't. It's like that, like tent is camping. What are you camping? You camping in a tent, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not doing a tent. Maybe a nice RV. That'd be good. So, anyways, what happened was after these ladies were talking about it, I started talking to my wife about it. I'm like, hey, what kind of camping would you do? Like, where would we go camp? And she basically said, are you kidding me? And I was like, no, but really. So
we don't do camping.
We don't. And look, we haven't. And, I believe that we camped twice. And I used to camp when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I camped all the time. We lived in Germany. We camped all the time. But my wife and I, the family had a trailer in a place called Chincoteague, Virginia. Actually, wasn't in Chincoteague. It was on the other side of the causeway on a creek literally called Mosquito Creek.
Oh.
And it was a janky trailer. It was, whatever. It wasn't even what you could consider a single wide. It was like kind of a long pole behind, but then somebody built a deck on it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
My parents decided to buy it. It was kind of cheap. And we used the hell out of it. It was great. But the thing was, you would have to go park the car, and then, me, I would have to go run, get the key from underneath the step, do the key, and then we had 3 bottles of off. And then start spraying them around because the mosquitoes were so bad and stuff like that. So... we did that because we couldn't afford anything else, and it was fun and it was good and all that. Yeah. But then I think that's what I'm like, I don't know, man, tent and bugs and stuff. But I did research a couple of different things, and you were talking about the springs too. I think the last time, right? Mm-hmm. So Weeki Wachee Springs, which is where the mermaids, right? Which those girls, I guess, because the water's freaking freezing there. But that is one of
mermaids. They're used to it.
Yeah, they don't care. They're cold-blooded. But Weeki Wachee is one of the top vacation, like outside of Disney, I think, and, the Keys and it's like the 3rd or 4th top.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And there's no real, there's a couple of hotels, but not really. I mean, most people camp or they do the, whatever they get, the Winnebago or whatever.
Right, exactly.
And apparently there's a lot of campgrounds around there.
Yes.
So have you ever camped up there?
I have not camped up there.
I think maybe Chala was talking about shit. Do you camp near Weeki Wachee or whatever near the springs? Yeah. So, but apparently there's like legit 20 campgrounds around there.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It blew my mind. Yeah. So, in the interest of fairness, even though I don't like it, I'm going to say that camping is one of the reasons that living in South Florida doesn't suck because
true.
When I really went on it, there's like hundreds of campgrounds in Florida, even down in like Everglades National Park. People camp.
Yeah.
Definitely not getting me to camp.
That was the last place that I went. Yeah, actually, there was a what is it? The freshwater crocodile.
Oh yeah.
Was hanging out.
Crocodiles do saltwater and freshwater, don't they? Yes. Alligators are freshwater only, and then crocodiles are good both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
the ones with the skinny point.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not like a zoologist, but anyhow.
That's right.
So there was one on one of the boat ramps. Like we saw everybody kind of going like to one boat ramp. There was a huge long line, and so we walked over. We're like, all right, what's going on? I had my dogs.
Oh.
And then a ranger kind of came out, and he was like, so just go slow. Yeah, don't take the. But it was huge. It was the first time I've ever seen one. It was wild.
So I'll tell you, I've seen a couple of crocodiles, like small ones, in the Keys, because they cruise around down there and in the back bays and stuff like that. But crocodiles are generally pretty like people averse.
Yeah.
Like he must have been a big tired crocodile.
He would, yeah.
Be hanging out with all the people around because normally they're going. Alligators, on the other hand, don't give a shit.
Right, exactly.
They don't care. But yeah, no, that's cool. Well, I mean, it's kind of cool, kind of scary, maybe whatever.
It was a little scary. It was like, oh yeah, they hang out here. I'm like, great, perfect.
It's interesting. It was just hanging out on the dock, and I was like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of cool that they didn't shoot them or something like they would up here.
No.
If it was up here, they'd be like, yeah, no more problem.
Right. Exactly.
No, that's
it have
nice.
to be a certain length or something like that before they can.
I don't even know what the deal with crocodiles. With alligators, there's certainly hunting rules.
Right.
But crocodiles might be protected. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Should look into that. Are crocodiles protected species in Florida? All right, cool. So, anyways, so the next question would be, where in the state of Florida have you not camped that you really want to go camp?
In Central Florida, in that area where Leaky Watchy
and all that stuff is.
I want to head there.
Well, there's apparently plenty of campgrounds to go to,
Yeah.
so you're not going to have a hard time finding one.
And what is it, Tortuga?
Tortuga National Park?
Yes,
Yeah,
I want to go there too, but
gorgeous. It's difficult because
seems like it's hard.
Yeah, because there's only so many permits now.
Yes.
They've narrowed it down. It used to be the place would be packed and it'd be all tents and everything. Right now they only have an X amount of maybe 15 a night or something, 20 a night. It's not a lot. No. It's really smaller. Tortuga National Park is pretty cool and pretty unique place. And honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure I'd camp in a tent, but they don't really have cabins there, so you kind of have to. But
I don't mind it.
Well, listen. They have these cruise fishing trips down to the dry Tortugas, which kind of goes past that.
Right.
That's like camping, kind of, but you're in a cabin, and there's restrooms there's restrooms on Tortuga, but whatever. That's a cool spot. Have you ever camped on the beach?
I have not camped on a beach. I don't know that I want to camp on a beach. No. I don't know if I do sand and the whole thing. I don't know.
Well, it seems like we live in Florida. Aren't most of the campgrounds sandy anyways?
It's grass. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool.
I don't know. I just can't. I don't like going to the beach necessarily in general. I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy the aftermath of the beach.
Yeah, I agree.
The sand and the whole thing, and it's just
Sand is a very evil creature. Sand finds ways to get places that sand should not be.
Creep up in crevices that it shouldn't be in.
Yeah, I just want to see people in there sitting in the water right by where the water's water, and I'm thinking, man, you better take a nice long shower after that. But
exactly, get a toothbrush.
Yeah, get a toothbrush. That's hilarious. Well, but listen, and I do look. All right, let's go to the beach then, because I do enjoy the beach. I enjoy aspects of the beach. Once again, the sand, not so much. Honestly, I don't know where the line would be where I go, okay, I like getting in the water, and then I don't really care because it's more like northern water, but I guess that'd probably be, Melbourne. So Melbourne Beach, I love Melbourne Beach. We love it because it's quiet usually. It's kind of an old Florida area. There's reasonably good shelling. Yeah. The beach is nice. It's walkable. It's not like some of the, you go to the panhandle of the West Coast to get that soft white powder sand. Right. I can't make it to the beach because it's like it's 100 yards to the beach and you're slogging through knee deep friggin' sand. It's murderous. And then if it's in the middle of the summertime, you're burning the skin off of your.
Yeah, boils on the bottom of your.
Oh my God, yeah. So, but people love that white sand beach. That's great. They can have it. It's not my sort of unless it's a really short one and I can get to my chair in the water or whatever. But anyways, Melbourne's cool because like I said, shelling's pretty good and stuff. And there's a particular the Hilton on the beach has this really nice tiki. Yeah. And we just kind of go from the beach to the tiki, the beach to the tiki all day. It's not a terrible
that works.
thing.
No, it doesn't sound too terrible.
Not the worst life in the world.
No. Exactly.
It doesn't suck. So anyways, but beaches in general, if it's good shelling, because my wife and I enjoy going out and shelling.
So do you guys do Sanibel and Captiva?
No, because here's the problem with Sanibel and Captiva anymore. It's
saturated.
I was gonna say, exactly. Yeah. Like for the things that we like, it's saturated. Like you got to get up at 3:30 in the morning to outshell the shellers on that, because people come from all over.
They do
whatever to shell on those beaches, and I don't have to have all that. We just enjoy finding, like if we find one good shell, pretty much, and we're stoked. We're like, yeah, hell yeah,
right, exactly.
So we don't need to find everything, and we're not, we're not lay on the beach all day kind of people. Now, occasionally, if we're hungover or something,
then you pass out on the beach.
Well, no, but then I pay for the stupid thing that makes it like the shade thing, and you get in there and then you put the blankies over you like a little, look like some Eskimos on the beach and shit. Pass out, sleep a little
Nana
bit.
And Papa.
That's it, Nana and Papa. Well, we're becoming Nana and Papa pretty quickly here, so but it's So anyways, the beach is cool like that. You obviously got to cover from head to toe.
I do.
Because,
no, I'll burn in a hot minute.
Yeah, turn into a little freckle baby.
Yeah.
So, all right, so so I already went through mine. What is your favorite part of the beach? We already know sand in your butt crack isn't no good, but what about the rest of it?
I think it's just the tranquility of it. It's and I don't know, I kind of like watching the people and yeah, but I do. I like to sit there and just kind of listen to the water. It's a little bit peaceful. You take a minute, you put your phone away. Like you do all of the things that you
never do.
And you go to the beach and you just
get 5 minutes of.
That's it. Yeah, you have to be alone with your thoughts for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless you have rats running around you. But that would be children, not actual rats.
I know. I figured that out when you said that. But hey, listen. Well. That's something that I don't know. It's so as more of you move down here, it's wonderful because we love you and we want you to be here. But our beaches, there was a beach in Boynton Beach called Gulfstream, I think, like a little park and a beach, and it was literally like one of those things where you're driving down and like here's the entrance, and if not, you missed it. So nobody was ever there. I mean, nobody. It was a whole park and a whole beach,
right?
And you go there on a Saturday afternoon 20 years ago, and it'd be like
nobody.
Yeah, a couple people. And I do kind of miss that, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's a lot now. Like I used to go in the mornings on a Saturday at like 10 o'clock down to just Palm Beach.
Right, on to Palm Beach, yeah.
Used to be no one there.
It's still
and
not.
I would leave around noon, and then that'd be it. Like it'd just be my little minute to have some time. But now you can't even do that. You can't find parking.
Parking, and that's the thing with Palm Beach. The actual island of Palm Beach is that there's like one line of parking and that's it.
Right.
And now all the other parking that used to be on the island's taken up with new residential or whatever it is. And I mean, Singer Island used to be, or Palm Beach Shores. It's got multiple names, but that used to be a great place to go too. But it was more of a younger party beach and stuff, and it's it's always kind of had that vibe. I was actually out there showing property 2 weeks ago, and they had this big Jeep music fest.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and they had let everybody go out on the beach with their Jeeps and stuff, and it was kind of cool. And apparently, it was some big name artist. I don't really know who it was because I'm old and unhip, and I was working. So what are you gonna do? But it was crazy because I'm like, what are all these damn Jeeps doing? Trying to get over the bridge. It was like Jeep. I'm like.
Oh, that would have been kind of neat to see.
Well, at least they were all in the right lane. They were, they had them pretty coordinated.
Oh, okay.
So the left lane was getting through until you got the lake, and then it got all jacked up. But yeah, so we do have a plethora of beaches and different things and different types of beaches. And then you obviously got the Keys, which is you don't really find a beach unless somebody made one, which is why I live in a neighborhood down there that has a man-made beach, and then we replenish it. And
they have a really cool campground down there, the Jimmy Buffett one. I hear
they have a Margaritaville.
They have a Margaritaville. They do, yeah.
Is that where the old K? What was it? Oh God, there was some with a K in it. Were the ones I can't remember.
Oh, the KOAs.
Yeah, KOA. Jeez, I can't remember Jack anymore. Well, there used to be KOAs all the way down. I didn't know Margaritaville had one.
They have one down there. Yeah.
Old Jimmy's got a little bit of everything going on.
He does.
So, and then they moved so he had Margaritaville had the branding rights for the one, and then they moved it, or maybe I don't know. But now it's over on Smathers Beach, which is kind of it's actually a real beach.
Oh, that's a beach, yeah.
Yeah, that's a beach. Fort Zac is a real beach. But there's not between Key West and basically Miami. There's not too many beaches. There's a couple on Marathon. Yeah. Islamorada's got Ann's Beach, but Ann's Beach isn't really what you really call a beach. I mean, there is sand, but there's only like
right. And isn't it like kind of like attached to the? Isn't that where what is it? What's the resort that's there?
No,
Chico, whatever.
No, Chico. So Chico has a beach, but they also replenish. They make their own beach.
Okay.
And then next door you've got what used to be the Guy Harvey Outpost, the Islander, and they've got kind of the same thing. And but the thing is, that the beaches are very corally. Like as soon as the sand washes away, you're on coral. Right. I mean, it's just what it is. But Ann's Beach is actually in what they call the Fills. It's further south, and it's once again it's the way the Keys are. You go, oh, there's a little thing, and there's like 7 parking spots.
Right.
And then there's another little thing. They never, so. But they really built a nice boardwalk and stuff after the storm and stuff. It's gorgeous down there, yeah. And it's public. It's open to the public, which is also getting rare everywhere, not just down there. I mean, it's anywhere you go now, the beach access is becoming.
It's harder to get through.
It's gonna be like some of the islands now, where you go, oh, well, that's great. You either go to an all-inclusive resort.
Yes.
And then you can use the beach, or you go, if you like get off a cruise ship and you just want to go to the beach, you go. Okay, let me go find the beach. Nope.
Exactly.
Nope. Okay, well, here, all right, we'll pay $20 for whatever, and then we'll have a minimum of $20 worth of beers or whatever. And not that we do it the same way here. Here we just build freaking high rises in front of them.
Exactly. And I think there's a big misconception about the Keys too, with the whole beach thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people are if they haven't been there before, they see the pictures that are posted and they see all this great and they think they're going to go have like great time at the beach.
They think it's Tahiti. They do. Because, well, look,
there's Key West is no beach. You have
well, you got the two. You got Smathers, and then you got the little one where the used to be the. So I don't really want to get anybody mad or give away any secrets, but the discharge from the entire town of Key West until not that long ago dumped out, and there's a giant freaking, basically, shit pipe, for lack of a better word, that goes out, and it used to go out about 100 yards, and that was it. That's where it went. And there's a beach right there that the locals knew not to use, but everybody else was like, oh, it's great.
It's a beach.
It's a beach. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but if you just really pay a little bit of attention, you'll be able to figure it out.
Oh, Lord.
But anyways, they've cleaned all that up. So
I feel like I have never set foot on a beach in Key West.
Well, Smathers is the only one that really or Fort Zach. So Fort Zachary Taylor, which is you got to pay to get in there. It's a park. That's actually a really nice beach, and like it's one of those places where you can just step off the water and snorkel. I mean, and be right in the middle. And it's very easy. Most of the areas around Key West are not very protected for like people actually getting. That's why everybody goes on tours and stuff like that. And they take it to sandbars or do they do whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of water traffic.
Oh yeah,
a lot of water traffic that some of it's controlled and some of it's just morons on rented jet skis. So you really got to kind of. But Fort Zach has like a literally protected area, and a really nice beach. And like I said, it's just one of those very few places where you can just hop off, relax, take your snorkel out. You don't have to bring a flag with you. Not that the flag really helps a lot of times. And you just go kind of enjoy that sort of thing. And then Smathers is it's just it's a bigger beach, and
it's crowded.
It gets crowded, but you can usually find like it's a big enough beach. And honestly, I don't know how many people go to Key West for the beach. They will go to the other parts of Keys thinking they're going to find great beaches. Right. People go to Key West to either go fishing or drink, more or less.
I feel like I don't know.
Or eat.
People
There's some really good food down there.
Up north or from home, when they think of Key West, they think, oh, how wonderful, you get to lay at the beach all day. And I'm like, well, maybe if you're at like a resort that has a little bit of a beach, you can, but it's not that place. Like
the special resort beaches are like these little postage stamp little down there. Like it's like it's literally 40 feet by whatever and tucked away. Mm-hmm. But so the nice thing about maybe the Upper Keys or the not Key West Keys is that the resorts do a really good job. Like one of the best beaches in Florida is at the it's the what do they call it now? It used to be the Hilton Resort and now it's in the Curio Collection. It's called, I can't believe I don't know what the hell it's called anymore. Where is it? I'll figure it out. It'll come back to me. But anyways, so they literally barge in sand from the Bahamas. The Bahamas, it's dredged sand, but it's the same sand on the beach, and they blow it on the beach and it's beautiful white. Nice. Beautiful. And you can sit out there and you put your little barca lounge out there and flip your flag up, and they come out and serve you drinks and stuff in the water and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Baker's Key. That's it. Baker's Key or Baker's Cay. Okay. Depends on how you feel about what CAY means.
Yeah.
But Baker's Cay is that was very squeaky. Very cool beach and fun, and good for families too, right? Because you can go and there's enough stuff that the kids can do, particularly kids your age. You can just
they just go away.
Go away. That's right. Go away. There's plenty of stuff for them. And then go on actually the non-beach side, and they have a gorgeous pool and all kind of stuff back there for kids now. It's pretty cool. And they have really good restaurants there, 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not bad. I was trying to say, we were talking about Key West, though. When's the last time you went to Key West?
Oh, geez. Last time, before pandemic.
Yeah, when's the last time you went to Key West without kids?
Wow.
It's a different.
Wait, when was the last time I went anywhere without kids?
I know. Yeah, that's true. It's probably been a while.
Wait a minute.
Well, no, because my wife and I were down there a couple weeks ago, and my wife. The first time we went to Key West, my wife was pregnant with our daughter Megan.
Oh my gosh.
And and sunburnt as hell, because my wife used to be like, get that Mediterranean tan. Her father's got really Mediterranean skin, so she would be like the Coco Lopez, bring more sun. Well, Well, apparently when you get pregnant, things happen to your body as a woman. And man, it did change her. And she just fried, man. I think we got to Key Largo and she laid out for like maybe, I don't know, an hour. And I'm like, babe, you need to go inside. She said, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're fucking red. Oop. I can say it's my podcast.
It's your podcast.
My podcast. I can say what I want. So anyway, so then we go while she's burnt to a crisp down to Key, and she's just like miserable. You could hear her walking. You know what I mean? Like,
everything hurts. I remember we had a conversation about sunburn. Yeah.
Yeah, redheads. You guys get it the worst, man. It's like all your freckles merge together into this little thing, and it's like
I can feel it. I feel for her now.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, and she
a while ago.
And you know, Megan Burr, you did that to your mother. She knows that. But it was kind of funny because we went down that time and like she was just not having it. So we just kind of walked around and did our thing. And you know, we're talking 26 years ago, however long ago it was. And it was a little bit of a different vibe, different town and stuff. Yeah. And, you know, we did Sunset, we did the whole whatever. So the first time we went down to, you know, to Live La Vida Loca or whatever. I think the Macarena was the song that was out at the time, or whatever. It was freaking hilarious. And we just didn't do shit. We went down and was like, and then went. Left. So then we had, you know, our daughter every time we went down.
Right.
And it was, you know, and Megan loves it, man. She even when she was little, you know, she really dug, you know, just kind of, you know, and we would go wherever she wanted. And, you know, my daughter's always been fascinated with graveyards. And
really?
Yeah, like, because, you know, we spend time in, you know, obviously Key West, which has a really funky, cool graveyard, but also in New Orleans. In New Orleans, the graveyards are just, you know, they're something. And even in Europe, in Germany, because, you know, we traveled to Germany quite a bit when my daughter was younger, because we still had a lot of, you know, living relatives there and stuff like that. And part of the culture over there is, you know, visiting.
Exactly.
You know, I don't think we do that in the United States nearly as much as over there. But it's like a ritual thing, and you go flowers and a candle and and she was just fascinated by all that, and you know, so we started taking her to Key West. The first thing she was like, oh, we drove by, and she's like, oh, can we go to the and like it's Disneyland, right? And I'm thinking, and I felt kind of weird, but then you go and it's, you know, they have really funny. Like some people have some really funny crap. You know? And so she started when she was like, I don't know, 10 years old, 11 years old, she's making rubbings on the things.
Really?
And she did the same thing in New Orleans, yeah. So she's fascinated by it. And, you know, Key West, the haunted town thing. She loves the haunted, you know. And actually my auntie Ursula from Germany. So Ursula, well, not from Germany, she's been in the States forever, but my German side of my family. So we stayed at this place called the Douglas House, which we absolutely love. It's right downtown. And it's an old wreckers mansion, so it's, you know, it's like a bed and breakfast. They don't really do a whole lot of breakfast. It's like, here's some coffee and whatever. But it's, you know, that type of place. They got a cool. I mean, the courtyard's gorgeous. There's, you know, koi pond, all the tropical plants, little pool. You know, beautiful place. And there's this room that everybody says is haunted. It's the one right above the office. It overlooks the street, and you can kind of see Duval because it's right on the corner of Duval and Angelina, I think. And she's like, I saw the ghost last night. And I'm like, what? Because I totally forgot. She's like, I saw the ghost last night. I'm like, bullshit. And Bang's like, no, we talked about it. Yeah. So so my daughter, and I think my daughter had to stay in that room one time just to be whatever. She's like, yeah, I saw the ghost too. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No.
But there is a lot of people that credibly, and it's not like this stupid TV show where they get the thing, it's making, it's making, we're getting whatever readings and stuff. It's just people that go and they say, yeah, there's different stuff that there's an aura or ambience or something. But literally, they both said they saw this little, you know, girl or whatever, which there's a little girl that died somewhere, and that they didn't say that room or whatever. But, you know, at that time, you know, a lot of little girls died from, you know, stupid diseases and crap like that.
Exactly.
It's not like, you know, there's apparently in La Concha, there's a guy that committed suicide in one of the elevator shafts or some crap like that. And they say that you can hear him when you're in the elevator. I think it's just creaky old machinery, but
that's another reason why. I mean, there's all of that haunted stuff is here in Florida. And
we do get a lot.
Florida.
Well, people don't realize how old Florida actually is. First, I mean, first off, I'm going to tell you right now, there's parts of Florida that were fairly well established, well before the founding of the United States of America. And it's not, you know, there's good history on that, like stuff you dig out of the ground that, you know, and it was multiple cultures and stuff like that. You know, obviously it was, you know, the Portuguese and the Spanish and stuff were a big part of, you know, the people that really kind of I guess conquered would be the word. They kicked everybody else out and said, this is our spot now.
Yeah.
But so you get a lot of that Spanish and that, that culture and whatnot. But there's been a lot of and I'm fascinated by the history. I love it. I told my wife I want to go, if I could find somewhere where I could be on an archaeological dig for a week or something and just do that like as a vacation. I would love that. Like I watch Oak Island, dumbest show in the world. They say the same shit 15 times. They keep going over. Yeah, and then 3 weeks ago they found this thing, and they just keep reading the same thing. Like it's literally the dumbest show to watch, but the story and all that's fascinating to me. And we have so much of that down here. It's
we do.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
St. Augustine is that's not down here in South Florida. That's in North Florida. But St. Augustine's a funky, cool city.
It is very cool.
Dig that.
Yep.
But yeah, and even some of the like the West Coast towns, Ybor City and stuff like that, they go back way back. And yeah, it's just kind of cool, fun stuff.
Yeah. That has a lot of Spanish influence.
Yeah,
for sure.
well, and so we were on the Spanish, what they call the Spanish Main. Right. I mean, this is Miami. They used to call Miami the shining star of the Caribbean. They did. That's what they called it. Well, that's still, I guess maybe Well, some people call it that now still, but it used to be the shining star of the Caribbean. So we are not technically in the Caribbean, but we're right on the edge. So, but yeah. So and apparently, what I learned through my historical whatever journey, which wasn't Flagler type stuff, and like the older stuff and whatnot, is that the natural currents, which is why like the Cubans get on the raft and it just comes here because the natural currents bring So basically, if you're coming from Spain or wherever you're coming from in Europe, you sailed, right? They were sailors, but they kind of just followed the currents, right? Mm-hmm. The trade routes were guided by the trade winds and the currents.
Correct.
And so the easiest way, it's tough, I guess, sailing a big ass ship with a bunch of stuff across. So you want to make it as easy as possible. So between the Keys and, Miami is where, at least at the time, I guess a lot of it, dumped off and stuff. Right. And that's why we got a lot of that. And then when people got lost, they ended up somewhere up in, North Florida. Like,
yes.
Well, it seems kind of the same, whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And then you get into the Flagler era stuff. Could you imagine being the guys that built that back then? Like I'm like, oh my God, these guys, and the stuff that they went through and the stuff that they hacked through, I'm not even talking about the coral that they ended up hacking through to build the railroad, but I mean, it can get pretty gooey and rough.
Right.
Going through mangroves and all that. They just plowed right through it. It's amazing to me.
I know. I went to a museum up in Tampa. We were visiting, and I went by myself because I'm like a weird history nerd, and nobody else likes to do that. So I went by myself, and I read all the plaque, and I was fascinated. I'm like, oh my gosh, that it goes from there to here, and like.
Have you been to the Flagler Museum? I
have.
Yeah. So and the Casa Marina is in Key West. That was Flagler's sort of flagship hotel. Right. That was where everybody went in, and we love it. They're getting ready to close it actually. In May here, and they're gonna do like a $70 million renovation. I hope they don't lose any of the old charm and stuff. I mean, it's literally still got a cistern underneath of it, and it's got and it's just a beautiful like architecturally. You can tell it's an old money hotel, like, and it's just the way it's laid out is gorgeous. Unfortunately, the beach catches all the freaking sargassum right now, but hey, that's the only downside. And hopefully, pretty soon that we'll have those little boats out there that suck it up before it hits the beach.
Oh yeah.
Well, they've changed a lot of laws on that stuff. It used to be you couldn't touch it until it died and was dry.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's like, there's a whole bunch of it now. We're gonna have to figure out something.
Something to do with it. Yep.
I didn't know that the Cayman Islands and these other places, they actually had state of emergencies last year because there was so much weed, so much seaweed. Yeah, because so if you're the Caymans or you're some other island, your entire economy is basically tourism based now. That's all it is. They don't, some of them still export a little bit of sugar or whatever it is, bananas and shit, but they're basically tourism based. And if your beaches are covered in stinky ass seaweed, right? So and so now they have these giant sort of boats that, and it's like harvesting wheat or something, right? So they go and they have a barge that comes up beside it, and the boat just basically got a big ass conveyor belt that goes into the water, and they go pull it up, and then it shoots it over there, and they're I guess they were barging it to China. Like that's how bad it was. They were barging it to China, and China was doing something with it because you get so much of it. I mean, it doesn't really break. It's biodegradable, but it takes a while. And everything lives in it. That's where life starts, which is why it was so protected. Yes. So you get all the little baby crabs and fishes and everything, and then when they die,
then that's why it smells so bad when it
so
comes
anyways,
up to the beach.
That's right. If you know a good way to turn that stuff into like, fertilizer or food or something like that, you're going to make millions. And there's people working on that. But sargassum is a big issue. And they already said the mats this year are like massive. And when I'm saying massive, I mean like hundreds of miles wide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, it used to be the original, or at least when I first learned about them, which was probably 20 years ago, I mean, the mats would get to 20, 30 miles, but there would be separation and stuff. Now it's just a giant freaking, because there's so much nutrients. And, well, let me clarify this. The scientists say it's because there's so many nutrients in the water from runoff both sides, from our side and from, because it starts on the coast of Africa and all that. And they're becoming very, at least the coastal towns used to be really small little fishing villages. Now they're becoming
very populated.
Right. Yes. So it gets a fresh start with a bunch of that, and then it comes over and the water's, a couple degrees warmer. So it's, it's a little crazy. It thrives. And which is awesome for the ecosystem.
It is.
Until it gets to, because if it gets to the coast and it's deep enough, it kills everything on so
suffocates all the coral and everything.
Sargassum. Live it, learn it, love it. That was a great movie. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Or is that
wow. Yeah,
you're too young for that one? Live it, learn it, love it. So let's move off of the seaweed and the sargassum and all that kind of stuff. And I really didn't have a plan because, I had a plan for the other guests.
Sorry.
This has been great. No.
Just rambling on about most random
my
things.
Favorite thing to do.
But it's still about Florida.
And that's right. It's all Florida. And it really, it's not, the seaweed kind of sucks, but it's okay. I mean, if you know about it and you know how to avoid it, it doesn't suck.
Exactly.
But if, it rolls up on the beach, so there's a really good, I'm a member of all these boards, the Florida Keys boards and all those sort of things. I'm just going to say this. If you're going to come to South Florida, anywhere in South Florida, do a little bit of research or call a travel agent. Oh, yeah. If you need a travel agent, Mark Eli was one of my last guests. He'll be on there. You just do it. Because the worst thing in the world is when people have expectation of this and they get that.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
During COVID, it was particularly evident in the Keys, right? So nobody was open.
No. Yeah.
You couldn't get out of the United States. You couldn't go nowhere. But, we were open here in South Florida, and the Keys, I'm talking packed. But there were a lot of bitter people there. And, we're sitting at our regular bar stools and we're doing our regular thing, and you're just packed. I mean, 3 deep at the bar, and people are screaming at this poor bartenders.
Yeah.
They're doing the best they can. You got one bartender that's taking care of a bar, a rail, and a beach.
Right.
Like, she's got just, and they're, why is it so slow? I'm like, dude, here's a little trick. Order 2 at a time.
Right.
Yeah. Order 2 at a time, relax, try to have a good time. Oh, this is bullshit, man. I'm never coming here again. I'm like,
why?
That's right. With your attitude, we didn't want to hear the first time.
Right.
And what were you expecting, right?
Yeah.
And then we had the other people that were bitter because they would literally sit up there and, hey, what do you think about it? It sucks. And, okay, well, you don't have to stay. Like, what sucks about it? Well, we were supposed to go to Tahiti for our.
Oh, wow.
And this ain't Tahiti. Well, no shit, it's not Tahiti.
No, right.
It's
exactly.
not. It's not. You're not going to get Micronesian, whatever. It's not.
No.
But it doesn't suck.
No.
And if you're that unhappy about it,
go back
home. I'm sorry. That's just, and that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
Because, it's not for everybody.
It isn't. No, absolutely.
No. It's for a lot of people, but it isn't for everybody. And, the other thing too, and I get people, this happens all the time. And when I say all the time, I'm not saying every day, but I will tell you this past year, I've had 2 different people that moved down here and moved right back. Right.
Really?
So, because they show up and they don't know anything about Florida. Never been here. Never been here. All they see is whatever they saw on whatever and whatever their friends told them. Don't ever listen to what your friends tell you. Your friends are full of shit. Your friends are living their life.
Yes.
And they see it through their lens.
Don't forget, you're here to live. You're not on vacation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like, I'm going to be on
right.
vacation all the time.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You got to still do the things.
If you're retired, you can kind of be on vacation all the time.
You still got to deal with
you still got to deal with life, right? But the thing is, your friends are doing their thing. They're living their life. And whenever even when you came and visited them, they weren't doing their thing. They were doing your thing because they were on vacation with you when you came down or whatever. So, and look, at least don't buy something right away. Like, rent something first because whatever. Or actually, I don't care. No, I want you to buy something because I don't care. That's my job. I make more money. But it's realistically, spend a little bit of time because
get your feet wet.
It's usually a culture shock, even for people that are vacation down here. It's a huge culture shock coming from a lot of places up north and coming down here to live because every day is not the same. Every month is not the same. We have different things.
Right.
we have dry season, monsoon season, whatever like that. And, it is a completely different world, which is why it's so attractive.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I know.
Did that sound bitter? I didn't mean to sound bitter.
No,
but I don't know. It's just sometimes, it is. It's crazy because I don't know. I have found myself arguing with my customers before saying, I don't think you want to buy this. I had a guy that bought out in Loxahatchee.
Okay.
Came from the city, from New York City. I think it was the Lower East Side or something, but he's like, yeah, the train, was literally right outside his window. He's like, it ran outside my window. He's like, I could almost reach out and touch it.
Wow.
It was what he could afford there, right? And then he, basically, I guess, sold that, and then he could buy a nice house on an acre of land in Loxahatchee. Right. But as he was telling me all the things that he wanted to get away from, I'm like, you realize this is completely the opposite, right? Yeah. And I'm like, there's not even street light. At the time, there was not even street lights out there. I think most of the roads have street lights now, but
not paved.
Well, they're paving all of the roads now because ITID has finally figured out that it's going to be cheaper to maintain them if they pave them than the way they are right now. So, but yes, there's a lot of unpaved road out there, and he was definitely on an unpaved road. But it's not only that; it gets pitch black out there, right?
Yes.
Like there is not really much ambient light out there. Now there's getting more, and you got Westlake and all that. But there's still, if you're out, a couple blocks away from Westlake, it gets pitch black and it gets very quiet.
Correct.
So if you're coming for some place that is very loud and never ever dark,
that's true.
Like because the city's never dark, especially if you're
the city that never sleeps.
Yeah, and you're between if you get lucky, the train hasn't come by and then the trash guy's coming, whatever. And he's like, no, this is what I've been dreaming about my whole life. I'm like, all right, man, I'm just telling you right now, I don't think you're gonna. Yeah. And less than 2 months later, he's like, dude, I should have listened to you. I can't. He's like, there was something scratching it on the wall last night, and I'm like. It's possible. It could have been a bobcat or something. Who knows? Birds, whatever. Yep. There's lots of stuff out there. It's nature. Like you live out in the middle of nature. Not that nature's getting pushed back now again with Westlake and all that, but Arden.
But still, you're living. Is pretty rural.
Yes, very rural. It's in the middle of the country. But so his thing was, I wanted to be able to go to the beach. So, between 7 and 9 miles to the beach from most parts of that. 10 would be the outside. Right. Well, no, maybe a little further than that. And then you get to Arden now, it's 20-mile bend.
Yeah.
Did we ever figure out if 20-mile bend is 20 miles from Lake Okeechobee or 20 miles from the ocean? Do you have any idea on that?
I have no clue, but it's far from both.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's 20 miles from the ocean. So anyways, and the guy's he's like, it's freaking me out, man. He's like, he's like, I leave my light on in my bedroom. Because it's so dark, and I'm like, I told you, dude, man. Like I get it. You want to get away, but maybe if you got away like halfway away, but not totally into the middle of. And he was an older guy too, like he was in the 60s or something. I'm not saying older, but he wasn't a young guy. And I'm like, it's tough, man. And he's like, dude, it's the freakiest thing, man. He's like, I can't sleep at night. I'm like, all right, well. So, anyways, I made out well financially on that one, but.
Get your feet wet a little bit maybe before.
Yeah, and it's
where you want to be.
Yeah, or at least
give it a chance.
Yeah, or at least listen to talk to the locals. Come by and go to a little restaurant or bar that everybody's sitting around and just ask them, hey, I'm thinking about moving here. What do you think of it here?
Come to a Rotary meeting.
Come to a Rotary. Yeah, we'd love to have you at a Rotary meeting. That'd be a great thing. And you'll get people from all over at a Rotary meeting because people live in all kinds of different situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Rotary. By the way, Tiffany is the president of my Rotary Club. How could I not mention that at the beginning? The Rotary would love to see you if you come down here. We're always looking for a few good people to join the club. Yes. And we have a car show May 7th out at Wellington Village.
Yes. What's the April?
April's already done.
No, did they do? No.
This first Sunday. Yeah.
Not the first. It's a later one, I thought. No.
We already did it. I was there.
Oh, all right. Never mind. Just kidding.
May 7th. And so the face painter is at my tent. That's I sponsor the face painter.
Okay.
But we have a nice little car show. It's nothing crazy. It's a little local hometown car show. We got a food truck. We got stuff for the kids, giveaways.
Yeah. No,
whatever.
it's actually
kind of fun.
It's pretty fun. And the trucks and the cars and everything are spectacular.
Yeah.
They always do a good job when they come out.
Yeah, they do a great job. And I think they were talking about maybe adding motorcycles to it. Not like biker gang motorcycles, but guys with Honda Red Wings or something.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. So if you're in the Wellington area and you'd like to see what goes on in the Wellington area, come out to Village Park May 7th, Sunday, May 7th at 9:30 a.m. I think we start.
9:30 to 1:30.
I should know that since I got to be there with my tent set up. But yeah,
yes.
No, it doesn't go to 1:30. It only goes to 12:30.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do the judging at 12, and then
okay.
everybody pretty much All right. Well, I can't think of anything else to talk about right this second. Can you?
No.
All right. Well, I want to thank my talented, intelligent, and obviously gorgeous friend Tiffany for filling in for me. The nice thing is she actually works right in this building, so you might see her, again, if some. And here's the thing. Look,
I'll be happy to come back.
Look, I'm not better, but at least if you're going to schedule yourself on my podcast, like I get it if something comes up, but you got to. How do you plan your life and not know that your kid's not going to be in school on a Friday?
Yeah, no.
And when I talked to you on Thursday, hey, all good for tomorrow. Yep. And then this morning, like literally coming in, I'm driving down Fairlane Farms Road.
And he said, nah.
2 minutes away. I can't make it. I forgot. My kid's not in school. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't know how you really manage the rest of your life, dude, and I'm not inviting you back. Sorry. Anyways, all right, on that note, hey, stay tuned because our awesome and talented producer, Chala, we're going to figure that name out because she's going to be one of our upcoming guests, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And
she can talk about camping and sunburns and all that stuff too.
No, exactly. It'd be a totally different version of it because she heals quicker because she's younger. She probably, no, I'm just kidding. We look forward to seeing you here down in South Florida. Come check us out. Come stay a little bit before you decide to move down. It's probably not the worst thing you could do. And, the difference between Boynton Beach and Boca and Delray and, Gardens.
Oh, yeah. No, there's
a difference, right?
There's a huge difference between all of those smaller towns.
Save yourself a lot of hassle, a lot of money if you figure that out first. Yes. Or you can just talk to somebody that really knows pretty well about the neighborhood and, ask a lot of questions.
Right.
Have a great day. Right. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Please do subscribe with the notification bell on. If you liked today's guest, you can also get more information about them right here. Like magic, it will appear. Anyways, we love having you here. We love having your friends here. Shout it out from the rooftops. Like us on Facebook. Share it with your friends. We'll see you soon here in beautiful, sunny South Florida.